The path of resilience, a Stoic call to action. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a vast wilderness. Before you stretches a winding road, uncertain, rugged, filled with obstacles and trials. This is the path of resilience, the road that every great leader, thinker, and warrior has walked. It is not the easy path, nor is it the quickest, but it is the only path that leads to greatness. Most people turn back. They see the hardship ahead and retreat into the comfort of what is familiar. They seek shelter in excuses, distractions, and fleeting pleasures. But you are different. You are here because something inside you refuses to be ordinary. The Stoics understood this well. Seneca, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, these were not men of idle philosophy, but men of action. They lived in times of war, betrayal, sickness, and hardship, yet they did not waver. They did not complain about what they could not change. Instead, they mastered what they could, their own minds, their own actions, their own character. The first lesson: control what you can. Ignore the rest. A storm does not ask for your permission before it arrives. Life will throw difficulties at you. This is certain. But what is uncertain, what remains in your power, is how you respond. Will you panic? Will you curse the heavens and cry, "Why me?" Or will you stand tall, unshaken, and say, "This is my test. Let me prove my strength"? Epictetus, born a slave, became one of the greatest philosophers of his time. He was beaten, ridiculed, and suffered immensely. Yet he taught, "We suffer not from the events in our lives, but from our judgment about them." Do not waste time on things you cannot control. You cannot stop the rain, but you can build shelter. You cannot control the actions of others, but you can control your own. You cannot change the past, but you can forge a new future. The second lesson: pain is your teacher. Many fear pain, but the Stoics saw it as a sculptor, chipping away the weaknesses, refining the soul, carving strength where there was once fragility. Marcus Aurelius led Rome through plague and war, yet in his journal he reminded himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The difficulties you face today, they are forging you. The rejection, the failure, the loss, these are not punishments. They are lessons. You have been given them for a reason, to sharpen your will, to deepen your wisdom. So when life strikes you down, do not say, "Why me?" Instead say, "Good, now I am stronger." The third lesson: action over words. Many dream of greatness, but few act. They wait for motivation, for the perfect moment, for everything to be just right. But the Stoics knew, the only moment you truly have is now. Seneca wrote, "While we waste our time hesitating and postponing, life is slipping away." How many opportunities have you let slip because you were afraid? How many dreams have you buried under excuses? Do not wait. Do not let another day pass where you do not fight for your destiny. You want strength? Then train. You want wisdom? Then read. You want discipline? Then rise early, control your urges, and do what is difficult. There is no secret formula. No one is coming to save you. The only way forward is through effort, discipline, and relentless action. The fourth lesson. Death is a reminder, not a curse. We all march toward the same fate, whether rich or poor, strong or weak, known or forgotten. Death comes for us all. The Stoics did not fear it, they embraced it. Memento mori. Remember you will die. This is not a thought meant to sadden you, but to awaken you. If you knew you had only a year to live, how would you act? Would you waste time arguing over trivial matters? Would you spend hours scrolling through meaningless distractions? Or would you love more deeply, live more boldly, and chase your purpose with everything you have? Your time is running out. The clock does not pause. What will you do with the life that remains? The final call. Walk the path now. There is a road before you, a hard road, a road of discipline, courage, and resilience. It is not for the weak. It is not for those who seek comfort over growth. But if you are ready, if you are truly ready to become unshakable, unbreakable, and unstoppable, then take the first step. Act now. Do what must be done. Let pain strengthen you. Let hardship teach you. Let death remind you that your time is precious. Live today as the person you admire. Live today as if it were your last, because one day it will be. The path of resilience is open. Will you walk it? The end. The strength within you. I, the storm and the mountain. A storm raged across the valley, winds howling like unseen beasts. Trees bent, rivers overflowed, and the very earth trembled. In the midst of the chaos stood an old mountain, unmoved, unshaken, and defiant against the storm's fury. It had seen many storms before. It had endured the relentless rain, the piercing cold, the scorching sun, and the howling winds. It did not complain, nor did it crumble. It simply stood. You are that mountain. Every challenge, every hardship, every moment of doubt is nothing but a storm passing through. But like the mountain, your strength is not in avoiding the storm. It is in standing firm, weathering it, and emerging stronger on the other side. The question is, will you let the storm break you, or will you endure? 2. The blacksmith and the iron. In a small village, a blacksmith worked tirelessly in his forge. Day after day, he took raw iron, placed it in fire, and hammered it with relentless force. The weak iron shattered. The strong iron endured and took shape, becoming swords, shields, and tools of great use. The iron did not complain about the fire. It did not resist the hammer. It became stronger because of them. You are that iron. Life will place you in the fire. It will strike you with hardship, rejection, and pain. But those who endure the fire and embrace the challenge become unbreakable. You do not become strong despite adversity. You become strong because of it. Will you shatter like weak iron, or will you become something greater? 3. The old warrior's lesson. A young man once sought wisdom from an old warrior, a man who had survived countless battles, who had lost friends, suffered wounds, and faced defeat, but never broke. "How do you keep fighting?" the young man asked. The old warrior smiled. "I never stopped walking forward. When the battle seemed impossible, I took one more step. When the pain was unbearable, I took one more step. When I was knocked down, I rose and took one more step." That is strength. Strength is not about feeling powerful every moment. It is about taking one more step, no matter how weak you feel. F. The prisoner's choice. In an ancient kingdom, a wise man was thrown into a prison cell, accused of a crime he did not commit. Days passed, then months. His body grew weaker, but his mind remained sharp. One day a guard asked, "Why do you still smile? You have lost your freedom." The wise man chuckled. "You think my strength comes from chains or freedom? My strength comes from within. You may imprison my body, but you cannot imprison my mind. I choose how I feel. I choose my thoughts, and in that choice, I remain free." Strength is not about controlling the world. It is about controlling yourself. The strongest man is not the one who conquers nations, but the one who conquers himself. V. The path of strength. Strength is not found in comfort. It is found in struggle. It is built in the moments when you want to quit, but choose to continue. Every hardship you face is not a curse. It is your training ground. Every rejection, every failure, every loss is another step in forging an unbreakable spirit. You have two choices. 1. You can complain, make excuses, and break under pressure. 2. Or you can embrace the fire, take one more step, and become unshakable. The strength within you is not something you need to find. It is something you need to awaken. The storms will come. The fire will burn. The hammer will strike. Stand firm. Keep walking. Become unbreakable. Now tell me, which choice will you make? Conclusion. Unleash the strength within. Strength is not something given to you. It is not something you stumble upon. It is something you create within yourself day after day, choice after choice, battle after battle. The storm will come. The fire will burn. The hammer will strike. This is certain. But what is also certain is your power to endure. The mountain does not run from the storm. It stands. The iron does not break in the fire. It transforms. The warrior does not surrender to pain. He takes another step. The prisoner does not let his chains define him. He controls his mind. And you, what will you do? Will you shrink when life challenges you, or will you rise, sharpen your mind, and forge an unbreakable spirit? Your destiny is shaped not by your circumstances, but by your response to them. Hardships are not obstacles. They are opportunities. They are the training ground where your true strength is built. So when life tests you, stand firm. When the weight feels unbearable, take one more step. When your mind tells you to quit, prove it wrong. The world does not break those who refuse to be broken. And you are unbreakable.